Hi, my name is Kevin, and I'm going to be showing you how to install your anchor trolley kit in a Pro Angler 12. You want to make sure that you're choosing the appropriate anchor trolley kit for your boat. We offer a Pro Angler 12 anchor trolley kit, a Pro Angler 14 anchor trolley kit, as well as a universal anchor trolley kit for whichever Hobie you're going to be mounting this to. Pre-molded into the Pro Angler 12s as well as the 2013 Pro Angler 14s are brass fittings for your anchor trolley. What I'm going to do now is take out these black inserts that are protectors for those brass fittings. You can just get your fingernails right in there. Before I install my pulleys, I'm going to stretch out my lines and make sure that the rings with the elastic cord are on the bottom of the assembly. To make sure that my screws are going to stay in place, I'm going to apply some Loctite in these brass inserts on the kayak. Break it open right here. Push inside the white tube and squeeze until you see blue fluid coming out of the opening of the insert. First thing when I put in my screws is I'm going to use the small short screw and put it in the first insert. You do this because if you put in this long screw first, it'll be a lot more difficult than putting in the short screw in. You don't want to fasten them down all the way. You just want to do it enough to where the pulley is straight, and then you can fasten them down one at a time. All the way tight and snug. The pointy end should be facing forward or backwards depending on which one you're installing, but it should be facing towards the ends of the boat. Okay, that one's installed. Here's a good little tip for you. When you're installing your second pulley, normally you would place the lines on the outside of the boat and then apply your second pulley and screw it in. Well, instead of that, what we're going to do is we're going to put the lines on top of the boat and lay it across so that the line is slack on the second install. Making it a lot easier, a lot less tension on this line. This is when you have the line, anchor line, going around the edge of the hull. The screws do not line up. But if I place the lines on top and lay it across the top of the boat, I have a lot of slack here so that I can easily install my pulley into those inserts. So we move on to installing these well nuts into this hull of the boat, and I'm going to use my drill for this, and I'm going to make a hole about 1 inch below the seam along the top of the boat here. I'm going to make it 1 inch below that seam and about 8 inches in front of the end of the board here. Right about there. And the reason why we're going to put these well nuts in is to make sure the lines don't go up and inside of the boat. I want to make sure the lines are on the outside of the boat here. So here we go. I'm going to install. Alright, there's my hole. That's a 3/8 inch drill bit. You're going to see that this well nut's going to fit in there nice and snug. This well nut's going to lock into this hole, and this plastic piece is going to back up on the screw itself, and it's going to lock itself in place, and it's going to keep this line remaining and keep it below the inside of your boat. You can see it fits in there nice and snug. All you need to do to tighten it up is to begin screwing, and that plastic's going to begin rolling up onto the threads of the screw itself, and you'll feel it starting to tighten up. You want to make sure it's really snug so it doesn't move. And again, I am not using a power screwdriver because I don't want to over thread the nut of that rubber coming up onto the screw. Now that I fastened this well nut nice and tight, it's going to be waterproof. It's got a nice seal on the edge here, and it's not going to let any water in through the hole. The second well nut, the placement where you're going to put your hole is 9 inches from the back of the handle and 1 inch below the seam. Right about there. Alright. Get my well nut here. Now I'm going to begin fastening. Alright, now that our well nut's nice and tight, we can see that the lines are running below the edge of our boat. We're not done yet. We recommend mounting this eyelet post 1 inch above the screw here for your board. And this is a self-tapping screw, so all you need is this Phillips screwdriver in order to mount this. So I can move my anchor line as far forward as I can to the bow, and this will become handy when you're in current and you're using an anchor. It'll keep your bow facing up and into your current, and it'll make sure that your boat's not moving from side to side or being drifted off and pulled off by the current. And if I want to change out into a different accessory such as a drift chute or a stakeout pole or an anchor line or anchor itself, I can attach one of those to this ring, and then I can also lock it up when it's in the correct position with this eyelet post, and it won't move, and it'll stay stationary.